How's it going, people? I'm doing really good now that I'm under some air conditioning. It's a scorcher out there, but keeping myself around cool things. It's keeping me cool. Forgot to frost my mug. Oh well. Let that be a lesson to me. Always frost your mug in advance. Oh well. Whoop. God damn it. Alright, we're okay now. I wanted to read a little more of this because there's an interesting section called Testimonials. He's got testimonials. Sounds kind of familiar. Blank maps. Yeah, you see, this book has got testimonials. I guess that's just style. Yeah. Yeah, this guy insisted on testimonials. No picture on Mr. Hohman. Yeah, testimonials. The 3 witnesses, and then the 8 witnesses, and then they got some more testimonials in the back of Briggy Young and Party P. Pratt. Let's read these testimonials since I've already done those. Gotta be good. Testimonials which go to show at any time that I, Hohman, great pimp name, have successfully applied the prescriptions of this book. Well, that's pretty convincing. Let's read on. Benjamin Stout, the son of a Lutheran schoolmaster, at reading suffered dreadfully from a wheal in the eye. That sounds painful. In a little more than 24 hours, this eye was as sound as the other one. By the aid I rendered him with the help of God in the year 1817. Henry Georger, residing in Reading, brought to me a boy who suffered extreme pain caused by a wheal in the eye. In the year 1814, so we're not really worried about sequential order here, are we? It's like very organized book here. All right. In a little more than 24 hours, I, with the help of God, have healed him. John Bayer, son of Jacob Bayer, that one, not some other one you might have been thinking of. Now living near Reading, had an ulcer on his leg which gave him great pain, but it did break up the monotony, all those eye wheels. Sounds like a sty or, a boil, possibly. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I attended him, and in a short time, the leg was dead. Can you see that? Freeze frame. There we go. He killed his leg, and he's bragging about that? In a short time, the leg was dead. Deceased. This was the year 1818. Does he really mean dead? That's what it sounds like. That's not much of a testimonial, that third one. Landlin Gottwald, formerly residing in Reading, had severe pain in one arm, one of them. In about 24 hours, I cured his arm. He cured it. It wasn't dead, like that John Bayer guy. Uh, Catherine Meck, at that time in Alsac Township, suffered very much from a wheal in the eye. In a little more than 24 hours, the wheal was healed, but she didn't say what year it happened in. This guy's so organized. I thought I was bad. All right. Mr. Silvis of Reading came to my house while engaged at the brewery of my neighborhood. Every neighborhood needs one. Not really, but it's a funny thing to say. All right. Every neighborhood needs jobs. How's that? A brewery would be fine. I'd love that. Yeah. He felt great pain in the eye caused by a wheal. These people need to stop rubbing their eyes and wash their hands a little more often. Doesn't mention that anywhere in this book, by the way, washing your hands being a great idea. I don't think it does. Anyway. I cured him. He cured his eye in a little more than 24 hours. It was a pretty common claim going on. In about a day. That's damn good, man. Anna Snyder of Alsac Township had a severe pain in one of her fingers. One of them. In a little more than 24 hours, she felt relieved. Michael Hartman Jr., living in Alsac Township, had a child with a very sore mouth. I attended it, and in a little more than 24 hours, it was well again. John Bingman at Ruscombe Manor, Berks County, had a boy who burnt himself dreadfully. That's sad. My wife came to that place in the fall of the year of 1812. Mortification had already set in. My wife had sympathy for it, and in a short time, the mortification was banished. She had sympathy. It's just like sympathetic magic. The boy was soon after perfectly cured and became well again. It was about the same time my wife cured John Bingman's wife of the wildfire. That don't sound good. Which she had on a sore leg. Susanna Gombar had a severe pain in the head. In a short time, it relieved her, but we don't know what year and where she lived. He forgot to mention that part. I think Joseph Smith's testimonials were a little bit more nailed down. They were all singing the same song. John Junkin's daughter and daughter-in-law both suffered very much from pain in the head. And his wife, too, had a sore cheek. One of the four, we don't know which one. It was probably one of the two up on her face, though. On which the wildfire had broken out severely. This sounds like a boil or an infection, wildfire. Because they spread like a fire, I guess, and they burn, they hurt. Been there. Yeah. The headache of the daughter and the daughter-in-law was banished by me. And the wildfire of the wife was cured in some 7 or 9 hours. Something like that. The swelled cheek burst open and healed very fast. Sounds like a boil, a cyst. The woman had been laid up several days on account of it. She could have just called her witch doctor and she'd have been good in like 7 or 9 hours. 24 tops. The family of Junkins live in Nackenmixon, but Brecht and Gumbar reside near Reading. All right. Nickelmaxon is in Bucks County. The 4 last mentioned were cured in the year 1819. Cooley's covered. A little sloppy, though, don't you think? The daughter of John Arnold scalded herself with boiling coffee. The handle of the pot broke off while she was pouring out coffee, and the coffee ran over the arm and burned it severely. Ow. I was present and witnessed the accident. I banished the burning. The arm did not get sore at all and healed in a short time. This was in the year 1815. Mr. Arnold lived near Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. Jacob Stauffer at Hackack, Buck County, had a little child who was subject to convulsions every hour. I don't know how long that went on, but I think he might be tired. How old is he? Little child. That sucks, man. I sold him a book containing the 25 letters. Magic letters. You should have at least thrown some magic beans in with all that, Probably bought it for their cow. And he was persuaded by his neighbor, Henry Frankenfield, to try these 25 letters. The result was that the child was instantaneously free from convulsions and perfectly well. These letters are also found in this book. I'm rich. I'm going to sell these. Just kidding. What would Jesus do? How much you got on you? Now, there's a special paragraph here with a drawn arrow pointing at it. They're pointing it out. It must be important. If any one of the above-named witnesses who have been cured by me and my wife through the help of God dares to call me a liar, now why would they do that? Those bastards. Sounds a little bit like this guy too. Interesting, huh? Maybe not. All right. If they dare to call him a liar and deny having been relieved by us, I shall, if at all possible, it's been a long day, sorry, compel him to repeat their confessions before a justice of the peace. The man's going to lawyer up, so don't be telling any falsehoods about him. You were cured, weren't you? Trying to sell some books here, and magic letters and stuff. A letter to cure rheumatism sold at from $1 to $2 back in 1819 or before, and did not even get directions how to make use of it. These depending on verbal communications. John Alligator of Reading had a very sore finger. One of them was, anyway. Ooh, sorry about that. I use sympathy to banish the wildfire to cure the finger. Sympathy. The very next morning, the wildfire was gone, as if by magic. He scarcely felt any pain except in his pocketbook, and the finger began to heal very fast. This was in 1819. I figure because you're squeezing it on after you wrote all that, and you don't want to go back and fix things. He's tacking it on. Now he's got another paragraph with an arrow pointing at it. And since we enjoyed the last time he did it so much, here we go. This book is partly derived from a work published by a gypsy. A gypsy got published? I mean, that's cool. That gypsy's name, Abdul Al-Hazred. They sell you the Necronomicon or some shit. It was published by a gypsy, so you know that's pretty damn bona fide. And partly from secret writings, shades of, and collected with much pain and trouble from all parts of the world, all of them, in different periods by the author. How did he do that? Well, all parts, but different periods, not all of them. Because it had to have been like, thousands of years old to do that. And only L. Ron Hubbard pulled that off. He topped it. Okay, so he went to a lot of trouble. Just saying. John George Hohman, by the author John George Hohman. I did not wish to publish it. My wife also was opposed to its publication. But my compassion for my suffering fellow men was too strong. Throw him through the blackberry vines, and that'll fix him. For I had seen many a one lose an entire sight by a wheel, and his life or limb by mortification. And how dreadfully has many a woman suffered from mother fits. It's a bitch. And I therefore ask thee again, O friend, male or female, it doesn't really seem to matter to him. Maybe he and his wife have an understanding. Uh, is it not to my everlasting praise that I have had such books printed? Do I not deserve the rewards of God for it? Sounds like Joseph Smith all over again. Where else is the physician that could cure these diseases? About everywhere you find one, if it's a real doctor. Besides that, I am a poor man in needy circumstances. Shades of Jim and Tammy Faye. By the way, they were hilarious back in the day. I used to watch them just to laugh. Them and Wally George. He wasn't a preacher, but he was ridiculous too. That 20-minute workout. Not that I got up. Oh, all right. Yeah, he's a poor man in needy circumstances. And it is a help to me if I can make a little money with the sale of my books. But he was opposed to publishing them. So was his wife. But then they realized they need money and their failures as farmers and everything else. The Lord bless the beginning and the end of this little work. And be with us that we may not misuse it, because this is some powerful shit here. And thus commit heavy sin. The word misuse means as much as to use it for anything unnecessary. I think winning the lottery is necessary. Where's my numbers? You know, I'll probably do that just for shits and giggles. All right. God bless us. Amen. The word amen means as much as that the Lord might bring to pass in reality what had been asked for in prayer. Hohman, note, he's got a little more here that he's just tacked on as an afterthought. There are many in America who believe neither in hell nor in heaven. Imagine that. But in Germany, at least back in 1819, there are not so many of those persons found. They probably burned them at the stake, that's why. I don't know. You probably helped. Just kidding. I, Hohman, ask, who can immediately banish a wheel? Begone, wheel. Or mortification. Get out of here, Morty. I reply, and I, Hohman, say, which is the same thing, all this is done by the Lord. Therefore, a hell and a heaven must exist. And I think very little of any who dares deny it. And I think about the same of you. Anyway, that's it for his testimonials. And I don't know, man, that was a pretty powerful testimonial there. Don't you think? Let me know if you learned something. I kind of forgot what I was reading already. It was so interesting. Peace the fuck out. Have a wonderful whatever the fuck it is you're having. Magically, if necessary. Bye.